So again, thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. We have a 1 hour full of learning as we talk about best practices on how to learn or how to earn or win your first Upwork contract. But before we start, allow me to thank you. We have around, I think, 40 people who signed up for today's event. So thank you for joining us on a Saturday despite your busy schedule. So we made it short, direct to the point, and full of tips and advice to help you get started. So just a few house rules. Okay, so first use the Q&A button on the event page anytime you have questions. So let me share my screen again. Okay, so you'll see the directions here on how you can ask questions. So on your screen, you'll see a Rubik's Cube on the top right of the video player. Just click on that and then click Q&A, and then you'd be able to type in all your questions. So there's also a live Q&A at the end, but anytime or at the event na meron kayong questions or clarifications, just type them there and we'll try to answer them to the best of our knowledge. And then to test if nakita nyo talaga yung Q&A button, please can you type in a message there like hi or hello or I'm here, because we have a special treat later. We'll announce it at the end of the presentation. So we need to know who really attended the webinar. So can you please start typing in your names or your messages? So I can see it. I think si Juwai can start a thread. So makita ng mga ibang tao no, kung paano mag-type in dun sa ating Q&A button. So while waiting for your messages, reminder lang, you can take notes. Please participate and stay at till the end of the webinar para malaman nyo or ma-avail nyo yung ating special treat. Okay, ayan na, nag-start na si Mirasol. Hi Mirasol and welcome. Okay, so moving forward, you can expect that by the end of our special class, you'll learn about how to create a winning Upwork profile, elements of a compelling cover letter, how to bid like a hunter, and a real freelancer story from our guest speaker. And as I mentioned, may live Q&A tayo. Okay, hi Simon, Joseph, James, I see your names. Thanks for joining us again. So before I introduce our speakers today, just a little refresher lang about freelancing.ph. So we founded the company late last year, around August, and we offer in-depth coaching for aspiring freelancers. We also offer mastery class for current freelancers, and we operate on a purely web-based platform to reach more Pinoys. So when we started, we offered paid webinars because we only want to cater to people who are committed to working online. But this time, this webinar is all yours for free thanks to our partner and sponsor, Tycoon.ph. So make sure also to connect with us via our social media channels. So we're in Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google+. We also have a Facebook group. So please connect with us or join us because we also extend our free service or free advice here. We give tips, we answer your questions, and we also share job opportunities for our members. Now, moving on. Today, we are honored to have with us Roel Manarang as our guest speaker. So Roel is the author of Freelance 1K. He is an entrepreneur and a growth hacker who has helped more than 100 businesses. So he's here with us today to share his freelancing journey and some of his best tips and advice to help you land your first job. Our resident career advisor, Juwai Abisamis, will walk you through the step-by-step application process, and of course, will be answering your queries during the Q&A session. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Catherine Kiambao, and I will be your moderator today. I have been working as a freelancer also since I started in 2012, and I currently offer marketing consultancy to my clients. So I think the best way to start our webinar is by introducing you to Upwork. Okay, so there are several freelancing marketplaces where you can find jobs. So there's freelancer.com, and if you attended the webinar last Wednesday, there's also 199jobs.com. But the biggest and most popular is Upwork, formerly Odesk, which was merged with Elance late 2014, I believe. So this is the reason why we decided to focus our class this afternoon to just getting clients or jobs at Upwork. The screenshot here is actually their homepage. It's what you're going to see pagka nag-visit kayo ng Upwork.com, and this is where you're going to log in. So you'll learn more about this later. So ano bang pwede niyong makuha ng contracts or kinds of jobs sa Upwork? So basically, there are two kinds of contracts. So first is a fixed price contract. Ito siya, yung parang chart on the left side of my screen. So example, a client I think better kung ma-explain itong kung paano nag-work ang fixed price by sharing an example. So for instance, a client needs a logo done for his new business. He posts a fixed price job at Upwork, hires a freelance graphic artist to do this one-off project for, say, sabihin natin mga $50 for the logo. So this client now funds his escrow, or ibig sabihin nun, using his credit card, he deposits $50 to Upwork to fund the project. The freelancer then creates logo options and sends it to the client for approval. Client can request changes or approve the design. And once it is approved, he now releases payment and the freelancer receives the $50. So that's how the fixed price payment system works. So yung pinaka-thing lang na i-remember natin is merong approval process sa fixed price payment. So hindi agad nababayaran right away, syempre hanggang ma-approve yung ating job. On the other hand, the graph or the chart on your right illustrates an hourly contract. So again, I'll just make an example. No, an hourly contract is more often used for longer-term projects. So example, a client needs a customer support staff. So he posts an hourly job with, say, he has a budget of $5 per hour, and then the freelancer applies. And when the client hires him and starts his contract for $5 an hour, they agree on the number of hours na it will work ni customer support staff. So say they agree to work for 3 hours a day or 15 hours a week. Automatically, the client gets billed all the time that the freelancer logs for the week. So no approval process has to be made because an hour worked in an hourly contract is an hour paid. So yun yung main difference. So once you start working for your hourly contract, sure na yun na mababayaran kayo. So in short, for fixed price contracts, usually smaller siya in nature and then paid in completion ng milestone nyo or ng project nyo. So, example ko lang din, it doesn't mean a short, meaning one day contract lang siya. Like, for instance, I had a fixed price contract na 3 months. So, nababayaran ako every time I finish a milestone. So, every 2 weeks. But, yun yung pinaka-important thing I mentioned is it's subject to client's discretion, while hourly naman are for longer projects and you will need to use the Upwork Time Tracker. Yung Upwork Time Tracker is sort of your parang Bundy clock sa work. And this will be the basis of your pay, yung pag-time in, time out nyo. Don't worry if masyado mabilis. Jua will talk about this later in more detail. So the next question is, now that you have a contract or you landed your first contract, how will you get your earnings? So for fixed price projects, usually pag binayaran kayo ni client, you will get the amount or your earnings after 6 days. While yung hourly naman, usually pag start ng hourly contract nyo, in 2 weeks papasok yung first week earning nyo. So ang recommended payment methods natin ay first is local fund transfer. So like me, yung earnings ko from Upwork, dumidiretso siya sa Banco de Oro ko. And there's a withdrawal fee for every withdrawal. It's 99 cents lang naman. So parang mga 40 pesos per withdrawal. Aside from local fund transfer, lahat ng banko halos nandyan. BPI, you can screen through their list. Pwede rin kayong kumuha ng earnings nyo sa Payoneer. So Payoneer is a debit card, so pwedeng papasok siya doon. Mas mataas lang ng konti yung withdrawal method niya at $2 per hour, per withdrawal. And then there's also PayPal. Mapupunta doon yung balance nyo, yun naman $1 per withdrawal. And then you can choose kung ikikip nyo lang doon yung balance nyo or ita-transfer nyo rin sa bank nyo. And there's also, hindi lang naka-include dito, but recently parang Skrill is gaining popularity. So you can also check them out. So the most important question, and I think lahat kayo gusto nyo malaman to, is especially those that are new to the business, can freelancing match my previous or current salary as an employee? Diba? How much nga ba yung kaya nating i-earn? So just a little background. I think last month I ran a poll among our members. So our members are quite active and mostly comprised of mga tenured freelancers. So siguro nag-work na sila as a freelancer for about 2 to 5 years. Ganyan. So I'm pretty sure that the info that I'll share with you now are pretty accurate. So ito lang, gusto ko lang i-share na some of the results. For instance, for general virtual assistants, approximately how much is your hourly rate? So makikita nyo that the top 2 box or yung pinakamaraming sumagot ay $3 to $7 per hour. So nasa ganyang range siya. For data entry specialist naman, how much is your average fixed rate for a 1,000 long directory listing project? So nag-vary siya from $41 to $100. So siguro, yun nga, depende siya sa field of expertise nyo. So I'll share na lang the pinaka-summary. So ito yung sinasabi ko, no? So very quickly lang, yung $3 to $7 per hour, pag translate mo siya into a monthly income, meaning nag-work ka 40 hours per week or 8 hours a day times 4 weeks, roughly, lumalabas siya as 21,000 pesos per month to 50,000. This is for one client na full-time. Meron din naman mga fixed projects like for a content writer. So, tinanong ko, how much do you charge for a 500-word long article? So, yung iba, sabi nila around $5. Yung iba naman, around $11 to $20 per 500-word article. So, that translates to 225 to 901. So, nandito naman yung mga iba-ibang kinds, no, ng expertise or ng field. I won't go into detail because medyo pressed tayo for time, but I will post this as a blog post sa freelancing.ph and I will share it sa group natin once it's available para lahat talaga ng detalye nandoon. Okay? I'll skip na lang dito sa ating ibang rates. So, in summary, no, gusto ko lang i-end yung intro ko with yung traits or character that you need to have para mag-succeed sa ganitong setup or sa pag-freelance. So, number 1 is sinasabi ko na you should always have a career goal in mind. So, pagpasok mo as a freelancer, what do you want to be? Gusto mo bang magtayo ng agency? Or gusto mo bang magtayo ng, halimbawa, maging designer, graphics designer? Or gusto mo ba na, try mo muna, sige, so mag-general VA muna ako or mag-data entry muna ako. But eventually, gusto kong maging SEO specialist. Basta, kailangan importante you have a career goal in mind para yung clients na pipiliin mo or yung contracts na pipiliin mo, makakatulong dun sa career goal mo. Next is, you have to be confident with your skills. Just, know how to market your skills or yourself kasi walang ibang tutulong sa'yo to get a job but yourself. Very important rin, no? You have to be a self-starter and resourceful. Like ko sinasabi, Google is and will forever be your best friend. If meron kayong hindi alam na app or listing or just use Google or try to play up with keywords para mahanap niyo yung kailangan nyo for your contract. Next is you have to be disciplined and accountable. So ang dami nating distractions sa bahay, no? Dahil very comfortable yung ating working environment. So just make sure na be professional and talagang deliver when you promise yung inyong mga na magbigay sa deadlines nyo. So lastly, siguro sabihin na lang you have to be internet savvy. Yun nga, parang kailangan lang niyong maging parang maging yung strategy nyo, kailangan hanap lang ng answers or watch kayo ng videos or vlog para makatulong sa inyo sa paghahanap ng sa task na ginagawa nyo. And then, of course, willing to go the extra mile. I mean, show your clients that you care about their business at you're just not doing yung talagang routinary task na binibigay sa inyo. Okay, so I think it's time for Juwai to discuss the step-by-step application process. So, Juwai, can you share your screen first?
I will share. Okay.
Okay, we can see your screen, Juwai.
Okay, so hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Juwai. So in the next few slides, I will be discussing the application process in Upwork, from account setup, creating your profile, finding work, until what you need to do when you get that first job. But before I would formally start my presentation, please allow me to share a background on how I became a freelancer. So prior to freelancing, I worked in a multinational company for 3 years. I loved my corporate job, but I had a very promising career as a supply planning analyst. But then came a major company reorganization. I was not happy with how things turned out. That it came a point I was dragging myself to work every day. So 3 months after the reorg, I resigned. Then while waiting to hear back after applying for jobs, again, a friend suggested I check out Upwork. So after I decided to take applying jobs in Upwork seriously, in a week's time and with some luck, I was able to get a contract 40 hours per week as a data entry specialist. I was still not convinced then to take the freelancing career path, still aiming to get back to the corporate world, but I later found out about my teammates' rate who were hired before me, which is significantly higher than my rate, and got inspired. Probably the pivotal moment that made me decide to pursue freelancing and forget about working again in the corporate was when my request for a rate increase was granted with my ongoing full-time contract. It was not much. I could still be earning more if I work in a corporate, but the fact that it's only been after 3 months and the increase was 100%, that made me look into freelancing in a completely different light. I saw the possibilities, and I just like that feeling of being in control of your career. And so the rest is history. So moving forward, to get started in Upwork, first you have to create a freelancer account and choose between the 2 membership plans. The basic plan is free, which comes with a fixed 60 connects per month Later, I will explain what these connects are for. Then a payment protection for hourly and fixed price projects. For paid membership or the Plus plan, which costs $10 per month, by default, there are additional 10 connects, making a total of 70 connects per month. Then same with the basic plan, it also comes with hourly and fixed price project protection. Additional benefit of paid members is the rollover connects, or the option to carry forward any unused connects on the next month. Suppose you have not used any connects in a month, so if you're a paid member, the maximum possible connects you have after rollover is 140 connects, so that's 70 plus 70. Another benefit for paid members is the option to buy additional connects. You can purchase more, but the maximum number of connects you can have after purchasing at one time is 350 connects only. And last but not the least of the paid membership plan benefits is the ability to see how much the other applicants are bidding. So what are connects? Connects are virtual tokens you need to submit in order to apply for a job. If you're invited to apply or are being rehired, you won't need to use any connects. A job may require 1 to 5 connects to apply, which depends upon the size and type of job. But most jobs initially require about 2 connects. So for example, you're on a basic plan. At the start, you have 60 connects. You apply for a job which requires 2 connects. After applying, you will only have 58 connects remaining. Your first avenue to showcase yourself to clients and make a great impression is through your profile. So spend enough time setting up your profile by providing as much details as possible. Go through all of the guided steps to get your profile as close as possible to 100% completion. So some pointers on what a great profile should have. A catchy and related headline. So you choose a brief phrase that summarizes your top skills and represents a profession. Examples are visual designer, virtual assistant, data entry specialist, brand marketing strategist, and so on. Then a reasonable profile rate. To get an idea of what your profile rate should be, you can leverage your rate with other Upwork freelancers of the same area of expertise. You can search for other freelancers' profile in Upwork, or you can also refer to the members directory in our Facebook group. Your rate also should reflect your experience level. So as a newcomer, it is only reasonable that you charge a little less than other experienced freelancers, as you still need to build your credibility with clients. Like for data entry, a start rate of $3 per hour is okay. $3 per hour is actually the new minimum rate set by Upwork for all contracts. You start small and then gradually you can increase it as you gain experience. Next, you add a professional headshot image of yourself. Write a compelling overview of your skills. Here you can outline the services that you can offer and highlight your experience in your own words. Keep it formal and use complete sentences. A good overview answers the question, why should a client hire you? So you add targeted skills, which use skills that tie in with your headline and professional experience. You pick your best skills and add it on top. Again, if you do not have any idea, you can cross-check this with what other seasoned freelancers in your field are using. Take relevant skills tests. So skills tests relevant to the services you can offer. If you pass the test, the score will be displayed on your profile. So it is a great opportunity to make yourself stand out and validate your claim in your profile overview. If you didn't fare well in a test, you can choose to hide the score and then retake the test after a month for better score. But regardless of what services you are offering, it is highly recommended you take an English language test, especially that we are not an English native speaking country. So test examples are a basic English skills test and English spelling test. You can also add in your education and employment history to add more value to your profile. Update your portfolio with relevant projects you have done previously as a freelancer or as an employee in your past job. Add screenshots, project details, and links if applicable. If you do not have any employment history or a fresh graduate, you can also add any academic projects you did in college. So the process of finding work in Upwork can be summarized into 5 steps. First, you find the right job and click the apply button. You check the number of connects required to apply for the job and compare it with the remaining connects that you have. Enter your bid rate, cover letter, attachments if there's any, and then you submit your application. Next, the client will review applications and contact shortlisted candidates for interviews. So if you pass the interview, the client may sometimes propose a paid test or trial job to get a better idea of your skills. Take note, there are no free test jobs in Upwork. Free test job is a violation of Upwork policy. Sometimes clients can even hire you immediately without much test or trial job or long interviews. But worst case, after submitting your application, you may not hear anything back at all. So after assuming every work details is discussed, the client will send you an offer, you review it, and if you're happy with the offer, accept it and can start working. So on your screen in Upwork, to get started with finding a job, you can use the search bar. You can use project keywords, skills, or positions. To narrow down your search, you can use filters. Filters are only available on your screen after you have already made a search. Then after, you add your search to your job feed so you can have an ongoing list of projects matching that search criteria. When submitting application, the first thing that a client would read is your cover letter. Next is your profile. So no matter how great your profile or test results are, your chances of getting a job is slim if you write your cover letter poorly. When writing cover letters, make sure you read the job ad first carefully, because sometimes client would add special instructions like, in this case, writing creative on top of the cover letter. This way, they can eliminate spam or generic applications easily. Then you also make sure to make a professional impression. A simple hello or hi is okay. Much better if you can include the first name of the client. Then tell why you're writing and why you're qualified. You can also refer to your profile to validate your claim. And then relate back to the job post and show that you understand what you are applying for. And last, discuss on how the client can contact you in case you are shortlisted. So after writing your cover letter, you set your bid rate. You can set a different rate per application than what is posted on your profile. Like for each payment, Upwork receives 10% service fee. For example, for an hourly job, you bid $20 per hour. Similar with fixed price, when you bid for $111.11 project, you only actually earn $100. So make sure when you bid, you have added a markup for the 10% Upwork fee. Then last, you proofread your application and check for any errors before finally submitting it. So the manners of how the interview are done in Upwork is different from a traditional job interview. Interviews can be a voice call only or a video call through Skype, or sometimes a client would just only require written interviews through email, Skype chat, or the Upwork messaging system. If you will be doing a Skype call interview, make sure you check your headset and connection first. You can do a Skype test call prior to the interview. Also, remember, try to make yourself available on the requested time. Be conscious of the different time zone. Review the job post and your cover letter. Do some research. Visit their website if provided by the client, so you can ask questions at the end of the interview. Your questions will not only show your interest and preparation, it can also help you gauge the type of client or nature of the work. If you pass the interview, again, a client may propose a trial job or you can be hired immediately. The average response time of client varies from 1 day to 1 month, which is faster than traditional job applications. So, assuming you've been accepted on a job, and if you're starting an early contract, you will need to download the Team app or the time tracker to log hours and get paid for your time. So the Team app automatically track hours for early contracts. But if you're on a fixed price contract, so there's no need for the Team application. So this Team app, it has a work diary feature that takes screenshots of your work and records keyboard strokes and mouse movements randomly in 10-minute intervals. So, only requirement in order to use a Team app or time tracker without any issues, for PC users, your operating system must be Windows 7 or higher versions. So, just a recap. So, step 1 in the application process. So, first, create an account and choose your membership plan. Step 2, create an outstanding profile. Some pointers, some things to remember. You need to have a catchy headline. So, the hourly rate should be reasonable. Then, it needs an effective overview that highlights your skills. Take relevant skills test. And step 3, can start applying for jobs. So when you submit a proposal, write a winning cover letter. Make sure it is tailored to the job you are applying for. You bid or set a reasonable rate. And then before finally submitting your application, check for errors. So if you're shortlisted and requested for an interview, make sure you prepare ahead. So, and then you got that first contract, and if you're starting on an hourly contract, you need to download the Time Tracker app.
Okay, thanks, Juwai. So I guess, guys, nakuha nyo naman yung step-by-step application process. Again, I want to say sorry for yung hindi ko na maximize yung screen ko, but yun nga, we'll be sharing the data and the recording later or sometime next week para you can go back to it later. So right now, it's time for us to hear from our guest speaker. Ruel Manarang will tell us more about best practices on how to bid, and also he'll share his freelancing story. Ruel, please share your screen.
Hello.
Hi, Ruel. We can see you.
All right, great. Hold on. Okay na. Can you see my screen?
Yep. We can see your screen. Just please maximize it. Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone. First, thank you, Miss Kat and Miss Juwai, for this opportunity. And yeah, for all the attendees, I encourage you to type your questions. I'll be reading them as na nagdi-discuss ako. So yeah, I'm Roel. So I'm an entrepreneur, a blogger, a designer, and a marketer. And I started freelancing since I was 12. I started freelancing online since 2011. That was 4 years ago. And I'm the director of marketing at enamtila.com. It's a digital marketing agency. I also blog at my personal blog, roelmanarang.com, and of course my magazine blog, Tycoon Philippines. And lastly, I'm the author of Freelance 1K. It's a book on that will help you how to earn your first $1,000 and the 4 steps to a successful freelance career. So I've worked with 100 businesses around the world, from startup and small businesses, including Fortune 500 such as Toyota and Mitsubishi. So yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Roel Manara. So yeah, let's get started and enjoy. So in this presentation, you will learn first what to do before applying, and then I will also teach you how to structure your cover letters or your bids, and the last one are I'll be giving you tips to negotiate price. So before applying, so the first before you even begin sending proposals or bids or cover letters, you should be looking and be mindful with several things. So the first one is creating a client profile analysis. So on different online job markets such as Upwork, you will find few people who create job boards but aren't really willing to hire or pay. So ito yung mga clients na scammers or just people na gusto mag-conduct ng competitive analysis through pricing, or just gusto lang nila mag-gather. So, given that the number of bids sa Upwork, it's 60 connects, as sabi nga ni Joy, that you can send online job markets. So, limited lang sila every month. So, the best way to ensure that a prospective customer is legit is by conducting client profile analysis. So, what are the things that you should do? So, first one, check nyo, is the payment method verified? So I'll be giving you some screenshots later. And then, working din to sa ibang job platforms such as Elance, okay? So, check nyo kung payment verified yung method niya. So, dapat yes yan. Number 2, award ratio below 20%. So, unless the customer is new to the online job market platform or Upwork, huwag kang magbibid kasi some online job markets also allow freelancers to become clients. So in this case, check nyo muna yung first job posting nila by visiting the client profile to know the date when they have started. So if their award ratio is 20%, most probably they just post or spam job posting but doesn't hire anyone. So next, does he have good feedback? And nagbibigay din ba siya ng good feedback? So of course, the answer for both of these questions should be yes. And the last one, what is their total purchase? So the higher is better, okay? 0 is a red flag unless they are new to Upwork. So just to give you some screenshots, yan. Ito yung screenshot from Miss Kat, thank you. Ayan. So the first one, as you can see, yan, pag ganyan siya, client verified yan. And then second one, ayan, hindi siya client verified. So you need to avoid those red flags. And then award ratio is 20% and check the total purchase. So check niyo siya by visiting their client profiles. And then if you can see here, there's a total spent. So ayan. I hope hindi ako sobrang bilis. Pag sobrang bilis ako, please type. Okay. And then give and have good feedback. So ayan, importante kasi yan. And then the second one is creating a competitive analysis. So, okay, another thing that you need to do before applying is to check your competitors' profiles and to see the rate they have listed. So, on Upwork, unless you are paid member, you won't see the average rate. So, kung gawin mo nun, punta ka na lang sa mga competitors' profile mo, yung mga nag-bid na. So, and then just check how much money they have or how much bid they put, and then try to be competitive with that. So try to determine the average bid amount to give you a baseline of how much you should bid. Okay, so by doing this, you have the option to increase or decrease your bid depending on your knowledge, skills, and experience. So of course, for new freelancers, you may want to bid initially at the minimum rate that you are willing to work with. So that's it for the number 2. And the number 3 is check the job posting. Last but not the least, for Upwork, check the job posting status. It is important that you do the following. First is to verify if the hiring status is open and still accept, or at least still accepting bids, and hindi pa ganun kadami yung mga nag-propose. Kasi, for example, 100 na o 20 na yung nag-propose. Of course, you have super late ka na. Okay, so next, you need to determine if the job is posted within 24 hours and not within 3 days or 7 days para fresh siya. So this is to assure you that a job posting is fresh and that your bid may still be entertained or read by a prospective customer. And the last one for on checking the job posting status is, what is the job type? Is it hourly or fixed? So make sure that you bid on the job pricing type that you want to use. So after you've done doing this competitive analysis and these 3 tips, okay, the next step is crafting and submitting your cover letter or proposals. So again, guys, if you have questions, just type it there. Monitor ko siya on my another screens, and I'll be glad to answer them. So to continue, one of the common mistakes that freelancers make is using canned response. So canned response to yung mga templates or macros na ginagamit nila. So pare-pareho, tapos spamin nila, papalitan lang nila yung hi, client name, tapos puro pare-pareho. So wag yung gagawin yan, okay? You should never ever do this. You need to make sure that your bid or proposal is customized to meet the specific needs of a client. So you should state why your service is better than those of the others and how your skill can solve a specific problem of a client. And then you also need to check the job listing thoroughly and what the prospective client is asking. Then answer clients with the details on how your services would fulfill the requirements of a project. So if you have experience on a similar job with a similar posting, so for example, nag-hire siya ng marketing manager, so you have a past experience, make sure that you let the clients know about this, including the feedback and results you have achieved. Okay? So, to summarize, I have 7 steps for you. So, your cover letter.
Okay. I think Roel got caught. Sige, let's just wait for him to join us back. So in the meantime, I'll answer muna yung questions na nakikita ko on my screen from Evan Campos. How do you communicate with your clients? Is it via email? So una, during the application process, merong messaging system ang Upwork. So you communicate through that. But siguro once you're hired, it will depend na on the client or your arrangement with the client. So pwedeng meron kayong Skype calls or merong via email lang or minsan via Skype chat lang, ganun. So it really depends. But during the application process, we suggest na talagang you stick dun sa Upwork messaging because I think, Juway, no, we are not allowed to give our email addresses or our contact details right away unless the client asks for it.
Yeah, as much as possible kasi, ay, oo nga pala. So, I just, lang muna, hello, hi everyone. Hi, Evan. So, as much as possible kasi hindi inaalaw ni Upwork na magbigay ng contact details ang mga freelancers during sa application process kasi iniiwasan nila yung magkaroon kayo ng contract or agreement outside Upwork. So kaya any negotiation dapat via Upwork siya idadaan muna. Yung Upwork messaging system naman, when they communicate you through their system, nakalink naman siya dun sa email mo na ginamit mo pag sign up. So you will be notified naman via email kapag may bagong message si client. But at the same time also, you can respond to your client using the email. Dun sa thread na pinadala ni Upwork, dun ka na rin magre-respond. So, it's like communicating with your client na rin via email kahit hindi ka napupunta dun sa Upwork site mismo.
Yep. We have another question. Let me see. I think we've answered. How many applications do you usually file or submit before receiving a positive response from a client? Actually, good question yun from Noel Morado. Want to answer, Juway?
It will, there's no specific number. Ako kasi, I'm very particular kung ano lang yung ina-applyan ko. So, I do not apply to jobs na pag nakita kong hindi na siya freshly posted and marami nang nag-apply. So, like kung 1 minute pa lang na post yung job, so it is high likely na may higher chance ka na ma-hire because sa online kasi mabilis lang yung application. Imagine your competition is worldwide. So, in a matter of minutes, magdadagsaan na yung mga applicants na yan. So, your client, kung sino man yung unang-una nilang makikita na parang swak na dun sa kanilang criteria, hindi na nila yan i-screen talaga, isa-isa pa yung mga clients. So, the earlier, the freshly posted or kabago-bago pa lang yung job ad, mas malaki yung chance na matatanggap ka or magre-respond sa'yo yung client.
And siguro, I'll share na lang din. When I started freelancing, talagang minamax out ko yung aking, during that time kasi weekly pa yung job application quota. So, before, 20 yun per week. So, talagang inuubos ko siya, apply ako ng apply. So, siguro, sa experience ko, dun sa 20 na sinubmitan ko in that week, siguro mga around 3 to 4 yung nagre-respond. So, yun. Ang suggestion ko talaga is, choose ngayon kasi may connects na tayo. So, choose yung talagang gusto nyong job and then yun nga yung sinasabi ni Juway na kailangan freshly posted siya para higher chances na makikita yung application mo. And then, yun, try to keep on applying lang. Wala talagang parang hindi natin alam kung kailan mapapansin yung application mo na yun. So, just keep on trying. Noel, let us know if you're happy with the answer. If may follow-up questions ka, just type it in. Okay? The next question is from Eden. What can I ask? Sorry. I'll answer your question later. Andito na si Noel para matapos lang yung kanyang presentation.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Roel. Share your screen na lang.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Okay. Saan pa ako natapos, Miss Kat?
Sorry. You were in yung summary mo, yung tips, yung number 1 to 7.
Okay. Okay. I'll just
Ayan, nandun ka
okay.
pala.
Thanks. Thanks so much. Pasensya na kayo, guys. Okay. I'll just make this quick. So, this is pretty much self-explanatory naman. Hold on. Uh, last. Anyway, okay. Okay, great questions coming up on the screen. So I'll answer that in a few moments. So again, meron akong gustong sabihin sa iyo dito, yung closing lines nyo kasi mostly closing lines are call to actions. So pinakamaganda dito is yung let the client feel that you treat good service and communication seriously. So what you can tell them on your proposals that type this word. Please let me know if you have any question regarding this proposal. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm readily available through multiple means of communication, including email, Skype, and phone. So you are giving him or her other options aside from just the Upwork newsfeed or newsroom or workroom. So yeah, it will let the client know that you take the communication seriously and that you are ready to get moving on the project. Also, encourage the communication on the client part. So that's it. Last but not the least, negotiating price. Okay, you need to remember that price is a common objection in sales and negotiation. So it's a common objections. There are actually lots of common objections, and price is just one of those objections, which I've also put on my book. Okay, so what should you do? I have 3 tips for you. How I wish I can hear you, but since we don't have that, so anyway, first tip: justify a certain cost by breaking down your total cost into smaller amounts. You see, I had lots of clients, and I do surveys. I do A/B testing because I'm an inbound marketer and I do persona building, and I interview them a lot. Even clients who doesn't pay, new clients, old clients, something like that. I always interview them, and these 3 tips are most of the things that they are looking for. So you need to justify a certain cost. So for example, charge mo siya $1,000 for a fixed price. You may want to break it down into smaller portions, like for example, $300 for my tools and $700 for my work hours, something like that. It will make the pricing easy. Tsaka ano sa kanila, confident sila sa pricing nyo. Tapos, of course, show your unique value proposition that differentiates your solutions from your competitors. You should always do this, and it's a little bit self-explanatory. Sabihin mo lagi sa kanila yung strengths mo and how you handle your weaknesses. And number 3, give your customers pricing packages to choose from. So this is very optional kasi as you know, on Elance, Upwork, nagbibid ka na ng rates mo dito. But once after kasi i-kontakin ka ni client, minsan kasi may mapapansin ng client na gustong-gusto ka niya. Gusto niya yung mga presentations mo, gusto niya yung cover letters mo, gusto niya lahat. Ang problema lang is yung pricing mo or wala siyang ibang options. So, dun mo palang pwedeng bigyan ng pricing packages. So, like basic, intermediate, and highs. So, that's it. I want to recap. And as I promised, super bilis lang. Before applying, you just need to create profile analysis, create competitive analysis, check the job posting status. That's pretty easy. And number 2, structure your cover letters. Make sure that you put the right amounts and the right templates. Never use canned response. Number 3, bring this home. Justify a certain cost by breaking down your total cost into smaller amounts. Show your unique value proposition and give your customers pricing packages, which is optional. So, my freelance story. So, I never graduated on college. I was 18 when I started working on a corporate job. I was a data entry. The reason why I haven't finished my college is because my mom passed away. when I was 18. I was third year back then, and I was running for cum laude, but unfortunate, hindi ko natapos and I haven't received the award on the school. But anyway, I believe I'm still too cool for school, so move on lang. And after that, siguro nakapag-serve ako around 4 corporate works. The last one was I was a customer service and a sales and marketing manager. So before ako magganan. So, ayun, within 3 months, I've managed to, first time kong uminom ng Starbucks dan when I was freelancing. Dati puro 3-in-1 coffee lang and then nakapag-freelance naman ako. So, ganun lang, just strive. After 3 months, I think yung first, in 3 months ko, first 3 months na nakuha kong money from freelancing is around 300,000 at least. So, ayan, I was totally noob pa nun, and I do a lot of wrong things. But, yeah, I've shared a lot of my freelance journey on my book, which I have something would like to give you an idea. So yeah, I'm giving 50% off on my book. It's only valid until tomorrow. You just need to go to bit.ly and win /win Upwork. That's 50% off, around $4 lang siya. It was actually $22 before, but yeah. So, Miss Kat, let's answer some questions.
Yay, thank you. Thanks, Roel, for the presentation and for the exclusive offer, guys, for all attendees lang to actually in-extend ni Roel sa all freelancing.ph members. So, ito yung special treat na sinasabi namin kanina. So, actually, 3 o'clock na. Ang dami palang questions. So, let's get to the Q&A portion. I think yung last na nakita ko was kay Eden. What can I do to convince my client or to accept or agree on my rate that I did, although I have history of accepting lower rates? You want to answer it, guys?
Yep, sure.
Okay, go, Roel.
Okay. So, great question. What can I do to convince my client to accept or agree on my rate that I bid, although I have history of accepting lower rates? You see, baliwala na yung past mo eh. So, you just need to make yourself premium. So, make yourself premium like, and then, kasi kung before, wala ka pang case studies, you're just starting out. Sa ngayon, and for sure, with all the works you have, you produce as results, because you see clients, all they want solutions and they want results. So if you are, for example, a virtual assistant or a marketer, you may provide past experiences. You see, there's a great template that I used before on templates sa proposal pa lang, and I say like this. So for example, if the client is hiring a social media marketing professional, ganito sinasabi ko eh. Kasi sa sales mo pa lang, sa sales, which is the cover letter, makuha mo na yung client eh. So, ganito lang sabihin ko, my services and strategies have been proved successful in growing the following at different social media platforms such as Facebook and Twitter. So, as bibigyan ko siya ng sample, one of our clients, www.oldclient.com, it was an apparel manufacturing website just like you, started from 0 followings but managed to get more than 5,000 targeted wallet out and ready to buy followers within 90 days. They have seen an increase of 700% return in investment. So it's not really what you do, but how you can, or what they can expect to you. So make sure the expectation you set based on your cover letters, you surpass that, tapos over-deliver ka. So, ganun.
Yep. And siguro, Eden, yung gamitin mo is yung naging experience mo. Like, ano na yung mga nadagdag sa skills mo, or yun nga yung sinasabi ni Roel, ano na yung mga nagawa mo, ano na yung track record mo, and use that to your advantage na parang, oo nga, $3 per hour lang ako dun sa previous contract ko, but I've been working for the past 6 months and 1 year, and I am now knowledgeable sa mga ganitong apps or ganitong softwares, and that's why I think I deserve my new pay rate.
Yep.
Juwai, meron ka pang gustong i-add doon?
Yeah, I agree dun sa na ang magiging panlaban mo is yung experience. Although kasi syempre as you naging tumatagal ka sa Upwork, so yung value mo tumataas din. So yun yung pwede mong i-reason out kay client.
Eden, if you have a follow-up question, paki-type in na lang ulit. Let's go to the next question. Okay, from Evan. Some job overviews are too brief or worse, lack important details. Since you want to make sure that we we perform and provide excellent deliverables, how can we get more details or apply to other jobs na lang? Juwai, want to answer it?
Actually, when applying, you can also ask questions. You can include questions sa cover letter ninyo. This also is gives a positive impact to the client because it shows how interested you are dun sa project, and it also perceives you as someone na serious na person, and yung hindi siya papasok sa isang job na hindi niya naiintindihan. So, it's a positive thing actually to ask questions. So, if there are hindi clear na mga deliverables, so don't hesitate, include it in your cover letter when you are applying.
Yep, I agree. Evan, if you have a follow-up question, paki-type na lang.
Addition to
yes. Yes,
yep,
Roel.
Sa akin, ito personally ginagawa ko. Kasi some job dashboards, yung mga clients nagpo-post. Tapos sasabihin nila, we're hiring for social media marketer or talented VA. Here's my website. Ganun lang. And you don't have anything to follow up with them. So, anong magandang gawin dun sa mga ganun? You see, I treat every job or every cover letters talaga as genuine. Tipong parang ginto sila, or sabihin mo na lang, imagine mo na lang na 1 million pesos ang gagastusin mo to bid on a job. So I don't really waste on job posting. So that's my personal, that's what I do personally. So I don't really waste on things, especially kung konti pa lang yung ginastos ng client sa freelance. And mostly yung mga bigating clients naman, or clients that pays you, hindi sila ganun mag-hire at hindi sila ganun mag-post, usually mahaba. So, ayan. Yun lang.
Okay, thanks, Roel. Okay.
I think meron pa si Catherine, yung on the client's interview. Are they particular on your grammar or the way you speak English?
Una sa lahat, yung sa job ad, you'll see rin yung requirement nila na English, parang proficiency. Ako, I would suggest that even if hindi naging specific si client, try to make your cover letters na parang grammar or error-free. You can always use kung may misspelling ba dyan or merong kailangan i-edit. And during the client interview, I think you can still try na, alam mo yun, to answer them to the best that you can. Although, syempre, alam naman nila that you're not a native speaker. But ako, I suggest na you try to express yourself the best way you can. Kasi ganun kayo mag-uusap eh. So, importante na clear yung communication. Any other additions, guys?
Okay, ako idagdag ko lang. Depende siya sa work. Normally, ang mga foreigners, they are not particular on the grammar. Kasi even themselves, hindi rin naman sila perfect ang grammar nila. So, kung writer ka or customer service support ka, so expected, especially kung English yung mode of ninyo, especially, in-expect talaga na dapat perfect yung English mo at saka yung vocabulary at saka yung grammar mo. Pero kung like, let's say, data entry or programmer ka, it doesn't matter as long as you communicate, yung gusto mong iparating is nagkakaintindihan kayo ni client, so walang problema. So do not be afraid na hindi perfect yung English mo. So yun, I guess siguro since when you are applying for a job, so i-determine mo muna ano yung mga skills mo. So what are your strengths and weaknesses. So kung if this job, ito yung mga requirements niya. So, alam mo na weaknesses mo yun. So, do not, hindi ka na lang mag-apply doon. So, yun nga sabi ni Katerina, before kasi applying, andun naman naka-specify ano yung mga requirements ni client, yung mga proficiency na hinahanap niya. Kat, nakamute ka.
Ay, sorry. Anything to add, Ruel, or can we go to the next question? Marami-rami pa. Okay. Hindi nag-respond si Ruel, so I guess punta na tayo sa next.
Ayan.
Meron lang ako i-add dun sa kay Miss Catherine.
Go.
I agree to Miss Joy. Hindi importante yung grammar, depende pa rin sa ina-apply mo. Kung kumari, call center or yung work mo is about voice, okay lang. Hindi, I mean, kailangan maganda talaga yung grammar mo, speaking ability mo. Pero kung yung work mo naman is not related to that one, or yung mga tasks mo, hindi naman related dan, so hindi naman ganun ka-importante. And some motivation for you, we are Filipinos and one of the great speaking countries in the whole world. So make sure to be confident ka dapat, and always have some room for learning, because talaga naman, even Americans, they are not really perfect on grammar. So, ayun. Yun lang.
Thanks, Ruel. What's the next question? Ang dami kasi na dito sa aking... Okay, from Eileen. Miss Kat, can you share a sample cover letter? Sige, I can send it to you. I have your email naman, but yun nga, I'll share it rin on a blog post. Baka lang hindi ko na ma-share right now, but in-note ko to, Eileen. I'll share a sample cover letter with you. Thanks. And Noel, again from Noel, what's the purpose of a milestone? I always see that after I wrote my cover letter and hitting the place bid button. The thing is, I don't understand what to write on the milestone. Syanga lang. Natawa naman ako doon, Noel. Juway, what's a milestone?
Actually, parang part lang siya ng project. Usually, ginagamit yan siya sa fixed price. So, ang isang project, hinahati nila into several parts. So, each part that is called a milestone. So, pag naka-deliver ka na dun sa first milestone mo, so you will get paid.
Yup. So, example, yun nga yung halimbawa, pinapa-research kayo ng palagay natin 20 companies na Fortune 500 in New York. So, halimbawa, ganun. So, you can break down the milestone into, palagay natin, 4. So, pwede mo ilagay doon yung first 5, madedeliver mo tomorrow. Yung next 5, madedeliver mo on Monday. Ganun. So, parang yun yung kinakount as milestone. Parang yung mga deliverables mo, at the same time, yun yung means rin para mabayaran ka for that task. Okay. Ruel, may dadagdag ka pa doon?
Tama. Syunga lang. So, summary of processes lang yan and stages, kumbaga, ng i-deliver mo work sa kanila. Yan.
Yeah, yun. Perfect. Yung sabi niya, stages or summary of mga tasks.
What's
What's the next one?
ano po ang may sasuggest? Si Catherine din. Ano po ang may sasuggest nyo na job para sa bago pa lang na freelancer?
Anong maisasuggest nyo na job
Para sa bago pa lang na freelancer?
Okay. Go, Juway. Ikaw nang mag-start.
Okay. Like ako, katulad nung nag-umpisa ko, I actually, I have a background sa programming. Tsaka sa web development, meron ako mag-PHP. But then, when I worked sa corporate, so 3 years din yun, hindi ko na na-update yung skills ko. So, knowing sa technology, so hindi na ako updated na yung skills ko. So, yung yung trabaho ko naman dati sa company, hindi naman siya, wala siyang, nag-browse ako ng mga jobs sa Upwork, wala naman siyang parang related na work or pwede kong pag-applyan. So, I look for a job na parang based dun sa skills ko, tsaka sa kaya ko, ano yung tingin ko may advantage ako over the rest para mas malaki yung chance na ma-hire. So, yung pinakamadali, data entry. Kaya yun, kasi since, naman, parang, the purpose lang naman is makakuha ka na, maka-start ka ng contract. So, I start small talaga. So, yung basic na data entry.
Agree. Depende siya sa skill mo. So, pwede kang writer, pwede kang magaling sa graphics, pwede kang magaling sa Facebook page management, ganyan. So, it really depends on you. Pero kung yun nga, you can start sa data entry because usually web research based yan or ang virtual assistant medyo broad yan eh. So, pwedeng mag-handle ka ng emails or you do researches. So, depende and makikita mo naman siya sa mga job description talaga. So, piliin mo na lang kung anong tingin mo nagmamatch sa skills mo. Anything to add, Roel?
Meron. Miss Catherine V. Ang i-add ko lang, I started freelancing 12 years old, as in high school pa lang ako. And I don't have a past experience on corporate jobs. I don't have basic knowledge on anything. So, ang ginawa ko is hinahanap ko yung passion ko one of my interests dati kasi is to creating websites. So, self-study lang. And then, from the self-study na gumagawa ko ng website, I used to code websites using just a notepad and Adobe Photoshop and an MS Paint. Yung tatlong tools lang na yun ang ginagamit ko, walang advanced tools. And I used to learn from it and yun, 12 years old. And yun, I remember binabayad pa nila sa akin just a slice of pizza and one Coke, which is great, and 100 pesos, yan, pang Dota. And then, okay na. So, yan, self-study rin. Hanapin mo rin yung interest mo, aside from, pero kung meron kang past experience na job, and then, dun ka interesado, or kung kaka-graduate mo lang, dun ka depende, i-apply mo na lang dun din yung aanin mo. So, ang masasuggest kong job para sa new freelancer, it all depends. So, ayan. And it's basically not really web development.
Thanks, Roel. And very inspiring talaga yung story ni Roel. Grabe. 12 years old. Okay, next. From Simon D. Hi, how to rebuild your profile again? Ever since na nagkaroon ako ng low feedback, hindi na ako nagkaroon ng client sa Upwork. So ngayon, outside Upwork na ako, nag-freelance. Old client from Upwork. Bala ko po sana mag-Upwork again. Salamat.
I'll answer first na lang, Kata.
Sige.
Since you still have your client, diba, from Upwork, pero this time sa labas na lang kayo, I'm guessing meron ka ng, parang you maintain a good relationship with your clients. Why won't pwede mo makipag-negotiate ka or mag-request ka kay client na kung pwede yung contract ninyo, dalhin nyo na lang sa Upwork para at least parang tulong lang sa'yo na parang gumanda yung profile mo. Pwede mo ring napakausapan yan kasi I'm having this vibe na matagal mo ng mga clients sila since, yun nga, sabi mo, old client from Upwork. At the same time, meron ding may gusto akong i-share na na cover letter. Ito. Yan. Because I also have a client account. So this is part of the cover letter na binigay sa akin ng isang applicant. So mababa yung feedback niya, but ito yung ano niya, yung line na ginamit niya that may interest, so na-curious ako dun sa profile niya and invited him for an interview. So just say if you're in atong pinakala, so with such low feedback, it's quite hard to get the attention of anyone. If that's the case this time round, then I wish you good luck with your project. So ang ano lang, parang yung punchline lang niya na parang nagpapakumbaba siya, pero at the same time gusto niya makakuha ng attention. So I think yun, since yun, sabi mo nga nahirapan ka makakuha ng client sa Upwork, so try to think of a way na parang what they call this, na parang not or strategy kung parang kumbaga pasabog or sorry, I forgot what hindi ko maisip ng magandang term. Para makot mo lang yung mga attention ng mga client. So para instead of looking into yung sa mababa mo na rates, na parang ma-divert yung attention naman nila dun sa mga kaya mong i-offer.
Ako, Simon, quick lang, baka pwede mo i-try na to get yung mga fixed price project na yung super mabibilisan lang siya, na kahit mura yung rate or yung budget ni client. Bakit hindi mo i-try yung talagang alam mong mapo-perfect mo or ma-deliver mo on time, na maganda yung results para makapag-ipon ka ulit ng good feedback. Kasi yung ibang clients naman, hindi naman, kumbaga based sila sa output mo pagka i-rate ka nila. Tapos yung isa-suggest ko is, yun nga, nabawa, na-deliver mo na yung result, nabawa, ang deadline is on Friday, i-deliver mo yung result on Wednesday. Sabihin mo na, I was able to finish the deliverable in just 3 days, and if you have any other requirements, let me know, you'd be willing to help, and then say na, before you end the contract, I hope you can leave a positive feedback. Yun, minsan talaga yung kailangan mo siya hingin kay client, and then ma-surprise ka na they will give you feedback. So yun, yun naman yung tip ko. Try to get yung mga small jobs na you think you can ace. Roel?
Yep, I have 3 tips for you, Simon. And the first one is to, in a good customer service kasi, you want to answer the feedback kung possible siyang replyan. And in a customer service manner, sabihin mo, thank you for the feedback, and I understand that you are not satisfied with the work that I've had. Blah, 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 blah. And then, so that's the first tip. So answerin mo siya, huwag mo siyang awayin, okay? So answerin mo siya. Kasi pag inaway mo siya, makita yun ng ibang prospective clients mo. And na hindi ka magaling mag-deal sa kanila. Number 2, kung may iba kang work na jobs, may iba kang kasama, I mean, pare, 5 yung work na active mo, manghingi kang feedback para matakpan yung di ba? Hindi ko alam kung pwede yun kasi sa Elance, pag yung bagong review, siya yung tumataas. So, then the third one, which is why dun sa last page ng book ko, meron akong ibang other sources of income ng freelance. So you can also try those things like affiliate marketing. It will help you build a business. So from freelance, it will help you to maglilip ka papunta sa entrepreneurship. So that's all.
Thanks, Ruel. And then siguro related na rin yung question ni Floyd, how do you deal with negative reviews? I think yun nga yung sabi ni Ruel, no, if you see na yung client hindi siya happy with you, ako, I would personally, yun nga, respond professionally pa rin dun sa feedback. Huwag mong awayin because yun nga, the feedback is public, and then I would still email the client to to see kung ano ba yung naging problema, is there something or solution na pwede ko pang i-offer sa kanya to make the problem right. I have heard of freelancers na nag-offer ng refund na parang, o sige, wag niyo na akong bayaran para lang since you're not satisfied with my work. So, yun yung mga options na pwede nating gawin. Juwai, anything else to add?
Sa Upwork kasi ngayon, meron kasing when a client gives you feedback, hindi mo kasi makikita yung binigay nila na feedback sa'yo unless you give also the client a feedback or you in-skip mo yung part na magbigay ka ng feedback sa client. So, doon mo palang mababasa. But recently, si Upwork, meron na siyang feature na pwede kang mag-respond dun sa negative reviews na binigay sa'yo ni client. So, magre-reflect yun sa profile mo. So, this will be your chance, especially kung kung nakakuha ka ng client na hindi naman reasonable yung binigay niyang feedback. So, pwede kang mag-respond dun sa binigay niya sa'yo na review. And then, magre-reflect yun sa profile mo. Para i-justify mo. But yun lang, katulad ng sabi ni Roel at saka ni Catherine. So, make sure lang yung reply back mo dapat is, polite pa rin dapat. Also, pwede ka din sa Upwork mag-request ng change of feedback at saka ng reviews. So, pwede kang mag-initiate ng request sa client and yun, I think anything naman nadadaan sa mabuting usapan. So, yun, communicate well lang.
Roel, anything else to add?
Hi Sir Floyd! Kumusta ka? Anyway, yan, customer service lang Sir Floyd. And lagi ka lang be updated kasi ikaw, alam ko, freelance ka outside and inside. So, meaning you use internal websites like Upwork and then external sites like your agency site. So, keep on being posted good things about you on how you can do. Case studies is the best. So, ayan, and mindset lang. Still be confident and just deal with it in a good way.
Okay. Any other question? Ito, milestones ba ay considered as stage ng project? Yes, Leomore, para siyang part nung iyong project or yung deliverables mo. So, I think na explain na rin yan ni Roel kanina. Did I miss any question?
Well, yung how to handle.
Sorry.
Question na yun.
So that's also a way for a client to determine how well you understand the project.
May bago siyang question sa taas, pinakataas.
Sorry. How do you handle hard to manage or hard to please clients? Yung tipong he's not satisfied with your output, but he keeps on getting your services. That sometimes adds a stress. Nakaka-stress nga yun.
Let me answer that one. Yeah. It's funny because super relate ako dyan. Super dami kasing ganyan sa marketing industry. Yung hard to manage, please client, yung tipong ang taas-taas ng expectation nila but their budget. Kumbaga, basta. So, I try to avoid those giving too much time and effort to those kind of clients because they're probably waste of my time. I mean, if I can use for example, kakausapin ko sila for 5 days and masakit sa ulo, stress pa, because you see, if you do things that are stressful for you, that is not a passion. You should remember that. So dapat you only do things that are not stressful and you just enjoy with. So, ginagawa ko, tinatry to avoid ko na lang sila. And then, just use the 5 days ko, for example, na pwede mong i-waste. Gamitin mo na lang sa paghanap ng better clients and high-paying clients. So that's it.
Juway, want to add?
Yun nga, tama si Roel. na he's not, or that client is not worth your time. So, kahit pa siguro high paying siya, pero kung yung na-outweigh naman ng bayad niya, yung stress na binibigay sa'yo. So, kung ako, in-end ko na yung contract. Pero, I do it, kung continuous yung contract, yun, nagbibigay na ako ng notice na gusto ko nang i-end yung contract. But hindi ko sinasabi yung totoong reason. So, sasabihin ko lang na marami, may iba ka pa, busy ka, merong ganito. So, just to ano lang na parang ang ano pa rin, the thing is, you would have wanted to work with him, pero may mga other priorities lang na dumating. So, do not make that client feel na ano na ayaw mo talaga sa kanya kasi baka yun bigyan ka ng hindi magandang feedback. Kung madali lang, kung fixed price na project, ganyan, so after it and one project ended, so you can, ano na, hindi mo na siya, kung mag-ask siya, kung isik niya ulit yung services mo, so yun, tanggihan mo na lang. But yan, it will depend upon your, ano yung ano mo, kung hanggang intolerance mo, kung hanggang saan yung kaya mo. Kung okay lang ba sa'yo na mas stress na gano'n kasi mataas yung bayad niya, or parang, ang ano naman is, bahala na mataas ang bayad niya, kesa naman ma-stress ako. So, depende yun sa'yo.
Ako, to add lang, Noel, I would rather avoid it by, sa start pa lang ng project, ililista ko yung mga deliverables na in-expect niya na, okay, mag-work ako ng, for instance, by this time, ito yung ma-deliver ko. Parang try mo talagang i-black and white as much as you can para ma-avoid yung, bakit kulang or bakit ganito lang, yung gano'n. But, in case na nangyari yun, yung parang nagagalit pa rin siya, hindi siya satisfied, then you have that document na kahit email lang yan or Word document na pwede mong sabihin na, but we agreed na on the onset of the contract na ito yung ating timelines, timetable, etc., etc. So that will, I guess, save some of the trouble or the stress. To add lang iyo. Thanks, Noel. And then, meron ulit ako nakita dito na gustong makikita ng ng cover letter. So, nahanap ko na isang cover letter na sana makita nyo this time kasi medyo mahaba siya. I'll quickly read through it na lang para lang may idea kayo kung ano ba yung ako personally nilalagay ko sa cover letter. So this is for a marketing specialist position. So sabi ko, I've been in the marketing industry since 2003, handling all facets of marketing. Tas inisa-isa ko kung ano yun. With 10 years solid marketing experience, I would very much like to apply for a current requirement and provide you with a marketing plan. So sinabi ko kung anong ginawa ko sa previous job ko as a marketing manager. So I have executed cut-through advertising, consumer-centric promotions, and have launched new product breakthroughs. And then yung ending na sinishare ni Roel kanina, no? So nilagay ko dyan na delivering on-time results consistently fueled my success in my career. I'm an expert in creating reports and presentations, and I will be able to start immediately and invest 10 to 15 hours a week to start. Look forward to working with you. Actually, na-miss ko dyan na parang I am available for interview through Skype. If parang pwedeng sabihin na if you want to discuss the project further, you may interview me. Minsan kasi parang it gives us a boost of confidence na parang, talaga, hindi siya natatakot magpa-interview. So, added points din sa atin yun. So, yan. Ito isang sample ng cover letter or proposal letter. Next question. How do you end a contract nicely to a rude customer?
Pwede ko sagutin yan. I have templates for that. Meron din akong as testimonials, templates, client demands beyond project brief, contact termination, tapos, so end contract. Yan natin. Pero ako dito, contract termination. So anyway, kung gusto niyo itong mga templates ko, just contact me or contact Miss Kat. Sasubmit ko sa kanya to. Tapos sa inyo na. So, gamitin nyo. Pero siyempre edit nyo sila kasi Di ba? Sabi ko nga, huwag kayo gagamit ng canned response. So, edit nyo, depende sa akin. So, ako, ganito ako nag-contract eh. So, ayun, dear client name, we'd like to thank you for choosing our company for your project. Unfortunately, we feel at this time that we aren't the right fit company for your needs and we'll be terminating our contract effective immediately as per our clause 11B or depende ko yung contract mo. So, again, mga guys, gamit kayo ng contract. Kahit service level agreement lang. Importante yan. So, tas bibigyan ko siya ng medyo personal. Please note that this is not a reflection on you personally. We simply feel that another company would be better suited to meet the requirements of your brief. So, yung mga tipong pinapalayas ko sila. So, ayan. Ganun lang. Bibigay ko sa inyo template ko, tayo si Miss Kat mamaya.
Thanks for your generosity, Roel. I think I saw another question here. Teka lang. Meron ba talagang hidden survey si Upwork? And saan ba makikita na bumaba ang rating ng profile mo? Yes, Joy, you want to answer it?
Doon sa may stats, doon mo makikita yung client job satisfaction rate. So, it's a combination ng profile rate mo at saka yung hidden na or private na feedback na binibigay sa'yo ni client every time a contract ends. So, ganun din tayo kapag ang freelancer, kapag i-end natin yung contract, meron tayong visible or yung public na feedback rating na binibigay kay client, meron ding private. So, kung tingin mo hindi kasi siya parang mataas naman yung feedback score mo, tas bakit ganun yung rating sa profile mo, possibly yung private rating mo is mababa. Other is, if you do not have enough jobs, kasi yung algorithm kasi ni Upwork, dapat you have at least active jobs for a year or what, na dapat active yung jobs to be able na yung ma-calculate nila yung proper na job success rate mo, yung profile rating.
Yep. I think nasagot naman ng Juwa yun, no? So, after a client ends your contract, bibigyan siya ng public feedback sa'yo, and then tatanungin ka ni Upwork, i-recommend mo ba tong client na to? Tapos may rating doon. Pagka nag-fall ka sa, I think, below 6 or 7, I know this because I also have a client account, doon magpo-prompt pa si client, si Upwork ng bakit. Anong reasons ba't hindi mo siya i-recommend? What if yung rating ni client doon ay i-recommend ka tapos between 7 to 10, syempre yun, mag-affect siya positively sa profile mo. Okay? I think sobrang nag-overtime na tayo, 3:37 na. We promise to keep it 1 hour, pero ang sarap sumagot ng questions talaga. I'm really enjoying yung mga tanong nyo, valid lahat. And lahat ng situations, yun nga, ang nakakatuwa na parang may mga naka-encounter ng ganun. And I'm happy na even yung mga hindi na newbies ay sumali kasi may matututunan tayo from them also, from their experiences. So siguro last call na lang, any other questions na meron pa kayo dyan, i-type in yun na. Siguro we'll end in exactly 2 minutes. But if may maisip pa kayong question later, yung freelancing group natin, ang tawag nito, you can always post your questions there and tinatry namin yung GUI to actively respond there. Okay, going once, going twice. I'll share the recording and all the other details, especially yung mga potential earnings per job category in a blog post next week. That's a promise. Busy lang talaga kasi 2 webinars this week, so talagang ang daming kailangan gawin. Thanks for joining us. And I'll also share yung link sa book ni Roel sa ating Facebook group para ma-avail nyo. I guess hingin ko na lang last words from Roel and Juwai, then we'll end the webinar na. Roel, last words?
Ladies first. Juwai?
Okay, siguro, piece of advice lang. Like, yung iba kasi, madaling, they thought kapag yung mag-online is madali lang. In some cases kasi, yung iba madali lang nakakahanap ng work, yung iba naman matagal nakakahanap ng work. So, ang advice ko lang is, if you really want to, yung parang i-assess nyo muna na, ano ba talaga, gusto ko ba talaga tong work na to o hindi. Kasi kung if you're not ready na parang, kung madali ka lang mag-give up, so, wag mo na lang ding, parang just for the sake na gusto ko lang siyang i-try, wag na lang, kasi sayang yung time na i-spend mo rin. Pero if you're really wanted this, so do not give up, parang wag ka basta-bastang ma-discourage. Lalo pa kasi ngayon na hindi na ganun kadaling maghanap ng work because of the, unlike before, nung last year, until last year, mas madali pang maghanap ng trabaho because yung job applications quota is mas marami. Hindi katulad ngayon na 60 connects na lang per month, so you should be very smart sa pag-apply ng work. Dapat yung pati application ninyo ng trabaho, pag-apply ninyo is may strategy kayo. So, yun lang. So, do not give up lang. At the same time also, kung hindi kayo nakakahanap ng work, assess yourself na parang, is there something wrong ba sa akin? May need pa dapat bang i-improve na skills? Ready ba talaga ako? So, yun.
Ako na? So, ayan, follow me on Facebook. Meron akong Facebook page, Roel Jan Manarang. That's Roel Manarang. And then, by the book, meron akong mga secret templates doon na pwede nyo rin gamitin. They work so great. And then, hanggang bukas lang pala to. So, ayan, sa Monday wala na. And, ano pa ba? Sa freelancing, start kayo sa low-hanging fruit, pero dream big. Kasi, ako, first year, you can actually reach kahit 1 million in annual revenue easily, kahit 6 months lang. It's very doable, kahit hindi ka ganun, kahit hindi ka college graduate like me. It's very doable and it's proven. So, ayun, be confident all the time and lagi kang lang mag-focus and be humble and cater good service and make more money. That's all.
Thanks, Ruel, and thanks for sharing your time. Siguro I'll end the presentation with my favorite quote. Sabi ni Richard Branson, yung CEO ng Virgin Airlines, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later. So, wag kayong matakot. Believe in your skills, believe in yourself, and then do the homework. Mag-research kayo, mag-aral kayo, dagdagan niyo yung skills niyo, and then go for it. So guys, thank you so much. I hope may natutunan kayo kahit konti dito sa ating short webinar. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend with your loved ones. And happy freelancing.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.